Rise and shine, Value Farm family. Welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you're new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being part of the family and also loving Value Farm. We love you back. It's a bright day. It's a beautiful day at the farm. As you can see, the sun is up and scorching, but we are happy to be here. I also have my co-director on standby. Please say hello to them.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Grafton. Very, very proud to be partner with this lady here. We are indeed co-directors, and I don't know, I always say the same thing. It's always great to be on the ground, taking up this beautiful sun. It is hot, it's warm, but you know, I'd rather be here instead of a cold New York any day of the week.
Wow, that is very interesting. And of course, today's topic is all about transitioning from the office kind of lifestyle to being your own boss at the farm. What do you think about it? That is very interesting because we all worked in corporate companies before, in the corporate world before, but we chose to become farmers. And it's really exciting to be here seeing the animals, the goats, the sheep, the cows, you know, growing, multiplying. It is just a special feeling that anyone out there, in case you're considering to become a farmer, you better begin as soon as possible.
That's actually a really nice intro. Guys, let me ask you this question, right? I know for me, I can tell you guys what the paradigm shift was for me. I'm sure each and every single one of you that are actually watching this video, you clicked on this video for a reason. Could have been the thumbnail, could have been the titling. We don't even know what the titling is gonna be yet. But something in you starting to nudge you into doing something different. Yes, maybe it's the cute goats, I don't know. But the fact that you're sitting in your office or at home or in traffic watching this video, something, your inner self is speaking to you. It's trying to drag you into a new direction. Now, that direction I'm hoping is independence, is freedom, right? But I can tell you for me, my aha moment was when I was sitting in my office as a banker, and I remember just being there. Yes, I was earning a very good salary, but I remember it got to a point where I was starting to look at my clock and checking my phone for the time the moment I walked into my office. If you're checking the time on your phone or on your wrist the moment you walk into your office, then you shouldn't be where you are. Because the average workday for me as a former banker was between 10 to 11 hours a day, minus time for lunch. But it got to the point where by 11 a.m., I felt like I was in my office for a year. And at that point, I knew it was time for me to do something else. I wasn't quite sure what else to do, like many of you out there. That's why this is a very passionate topic for me, because I truly understand what you go through. First, you start to go through the denial aspect. I love my career. I'm earning a good living. I'm being a responsible man or woman. But then there's the you factor. There's the happiness factor that you have to battle with, right? And believe me, the longer you stay in a position that you hate, you're gonna start to dislike yourself.
That's true.
You're gonna start to not only hate what you're doing as a profession, but that's gonna start to seep into every aspect of your life. I hope you never arrive to that point. I hope you can be proactive and actually make a decision for yourself versus your boss choosing to escort you out of your desk. So, what about you? How was your moment?
My moment. This is my story. For my time to leave the corporate world, it was because of monotony, doing the same thing over and over again. There's no challenges anymore. I was really very tired of the environment, first of all. I shouldn't say that it was a bad environment, but I'd been there for so long, and there's a lot of pressure of things that I wasn't ready to do sometimes. It was just monotony of the things that I was doing on daily, and it wasn't motivating for me because I wasn't getting any promotion. And I know most of you out there may be in office, you've been having the same type of job over and over, but you're not moving. You're seeing your colleagues moving, you're seeing your friends being promoted, you're in the same position. You definitely get demotivated. Even if the work is really interesting, even if something is challenging to you, you get really demotivated. You start asking yourself, what is wrong with me? What did I do wrong? Start even questioning God. Why? Am I the problem? You know? So that was me, seriously. I was really questioning. Whenever my friends were leaving, I would feel like, oh my God, I wish it was me. Whenever they send their resignation letters, I would be like, oh my God, why? Why am I moving? Because I had been there for over like 10 years in the same position. My motivation was really very, very low. I wasn't doing even much better to improve on myself because I didn't want to do what I was doing at the moment. So me becoming a farmer or choosing something else, choosing a different path with a different challenge, it is something that is bringing my other skills, my other talents, which I really feel that is really better for me. So anyone out there who is working in an office, who is really very tired, try other challenges if you can. Of course, save your money before you get out to do something that you're really interested in. It may not be farming, it can be another business out there, but at least try something else because monotony can kill you. You may hate yourself.
Yeah, that's actually great. And I'm so glad you actually finally shared that aspect of your story with the corporate world. But here's something else, guys. This is just a fact of life. If you're unhappy with you, no matter how good of a husband you want to be, you can't be the best husband in the household. You're not gonna be able to be the best wife that your husband, if he deserves it, should have, right? Because you're unhappy. And if you're unhappy with your profession, that's about, I would say psychologically, that's close to like at least 50%. Because a lot of you out there equate your overall human value to what it says on your business card.
True.
And at the end of the day, it's not about what you do, it's about who you are. And for me, though I came from a corporate environment, I realized that for me, I wanted freedom. I wanted to be with nature. I wanted to get back and actually do something that was going to be more impactful to the general population, right? So I left the corporate world as a banker and I started a few other companies, though I was still doing okay financially, but I did not find this level of profound happiness until I ventured over to farming. So for you out there, I hope you can find this interesting and actually have that paradigm shift. Now, what does that mean? A paradigm shift is essentially a change of mindset. When you go from thinking one way most of your life, right? And then you have that moment where the light bulb goes on and you're like, I should be doing something else, right? Could mean you might be in a bad relationship. Could be that you hate your job. But the moment you realize, like, you know what? I should be doing something different. That's you having a paradigm shift. That's you changing your mindset. It starts up here first.
True.
And the moment you start to think that you need something different, that's when you actually need to start to implement your plan of exit, your exit strategy, right?
True.
You need your rainy day fund. That's number one. You need to make sure that you have that money set aside so that way, even before you resign your position, right, that you can actually have that money to start either leasing your land, to save that money to either purchase or lease land, what you're gonna do. You need to know exactly the type of farming. I think by the time you're ready to lease and purchase land, you should have an understanding of the type of farming you want to get into.
The freedom you get as a farmer and doing something else versus in that corporate kind of setting, because this is, to me, again, another thing that I really felt was really depriving me of my freedom was because of the shifts and the work that we had in an office. We could only get maybe one day off in a week. So you can really imagine. And also the pressure that you really have. Remember, if you're a person that you have a family and you're supposed to be at work all the time, I think we've even discussed this before with with Maskman in the car. Like if you're really having too much pressure in work, that will even impact on your family back at home.
Yeah.
You will not be a very good husband, you will not be a good wife at home, because the kids will be neglected, and that will still be on you. Because
and at the end, you end up hating yourself.
Hating yourself.
You will resent yourself.
That is so true.
When you get to that point. But please continue.
Yeah, you resent yourself. You start still blaming yourself. You're less productive at home. Even at your husband is blaming you. Then you're the problem. Why would you be in such a situation? Because here there's a lot of freedom. You work when you want, of course, but of course work with an intention. You're working for yourself. You're not working for anyone else. Of course, I'm not advocating that, you should leave your jobs immediately, but at least have a plan and also have time for yourself as well. Get a job that can really give you time for your family and also make yourself much more productive.
That's excellent. Now, there's a saying in life, you reap what you sow. And so farming is where that actually came from, right? Yes, a lot of people use it as a proverb, but it's true. It's when it comes to farming.
That is true.
If you don't put a seed in the ground, you get nothing back. Nothing of value will come from you not working your land, from you not actually being proactive.
True.
Now, the thing that I want to make sure we also address, because some of you, I feel like the Joel Osteen of farming. People are accusing us of just selling just nothing but the positives.
The positives, yeah,
and
true.
in reality, we share everything with you guys. We've shared our challenges. We've shared times that we've lost, times that we work with the wrong people. And the truth of the matter is, farming is not easy. Just like you becoming a doctor is not easy. Just like you becoming an attorney is not easy. Just like you becoming, a top tier engineer is not easy. Anything you want in this life that's gonna be worth something, you're gonna have to work for it. Diamond is valuable for a reason. It's not easy to get to. It's not easy to find. You're not gonna be walking down the street and just stumble on a diamond.
Nope.
In the middle of the street. And if it happened, that's like 1 in a trillion. Okay?
True.
Now, what the reason that point is important, and I want to make sure we share this with you guys, when it's time for you to transition, this is a business. Okay?
Yes.
When you get into farming, this is not a hobby.
This is not a hobby.
You can't treat a hobby, you can't treat a business like a hobby and expect to get business returns.
No.
You have to treat this like a real business, because let me tell you guys this. If you want to be able to pull yourself from being tethered like a dog on a rope, you have to change your mindset. Apart from you making the decision to leave your current field, you have to actually retrain yourself, okay? Classical conditioning is, of course, a technical term, right? A medical one. For those in the field of psychology, you know where I'm going with this. Is when you actually train your subject to have a reaction based on the conditioning that you impart on that subject. What do I mean by that? If you were one of these unfortunate children that had an abusive father that would just walk by you and just smack you over the head every time he sees you, because he himself is unhappy and a loser in life. After a while, the moment you see your father coming, as he starts to walk toward your direction, you're always gonna brace yourself as if you're gonna get hit. That's classical conditioning. Even if he doesn't intend to hit you, but you trained for that reaction. Guess what? We've all been classically trained to know that when you go to university, when you graduate high school, you go to university, you get your degree, you're supposed to get a job.
Yes.
Very few of us, unless you come from a family that are filled with entrepreneurs, that you grow up with your dad having his own medical practice or his own construction company or his own lawn cleaning, cutting service, right? That you see what it's like to work for yourself. And unless you're from that environment, it's a very scary thing. And that's how you're trained to become an employee.
True.
And the hardest part about you walking away from your desk, it's not your paycheck. It's in your mind.
Yeah.
Because you just know, you become dependent on that paycheck every 2 weeks in the US, every month
here
in Uganda and parts of Europe, right? Like you've just like the idea of you leaving the security blanket of your monthly pay or your bi-weekly pay, it's crippling.
True.
It's like that's your security blanket.
True.
But in reality, there's nothing worse to give that somebody that power over you as a person. To know that your boss can wake up and one day he or she might have woken up on the
wrong
side of the bed. And that day you in the office, you might look at him wrong or answer him wrong, and that day could be your very last day in the office. And guess what? Even though you've grown dependent on that paycheck, right? Just think about what happens to you when somebody has the power to take it away from you. You know, me as a man and my business partner here as a woman, it was very scary for me to walk away from a corporate life.
True.
I was in the banking world for close to 15 years of my life. And I was making a higher than above average salary, plus bonuses, plus ability to travel. But you know what? When I decided to make the decision to go out and do something for myself in the business world, it was very difficult. But looking back now, almost 10 years later, I wouldn't change it for the world. Because the idea to know that I don't have to count my sick days, and those of you in corporate America, you know this. When you make your second year in your career, you're like, oh my God, now I might have actually a full 2 weeks paid vacation. And then you count now your personal days, your mental health days if you're with a real company. How many days can I just not show up to work and still be okay? If you in that bubble, my friend,
that is so true.
My dear friends, my dear future farmers, then your situation is truly dire. This is one of those break the glass situations.
Yeah, true.
You need to get out. And your strategy, for us, it was farming.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping you can find that as an exit strategy for you, for your freedom, for your mental alacrity, just to have that freedom of thought, of happiness, of stress-free.
True.
You understand? That lifestyle is, you can't put a price tag on that. It's invaluable, you know?
So true.
So make sure that you plan, save your money, do your research, partner with smart farmers like you. You coming from the corporate world, or just you having a standard job is fine, but you bringing those amazing skills you've acquired over the last 15 years, 20 years of your life, right? Into this new business that where you're gonna be the boss lady.
True.
Where you're gonna be the boss man. And then you come in and make it work for yourself. This is the new day, the first day of the rest of your life. And it's up to you if you wanna grab it and run with it, or you're gonna spend another 3 years going into the same office.
That is so true.
Being miserable. The choice is up to you. But if you wanna do something different, there's nothing wrong with farming. Come in, the water is fine.
True.
You're gonna be okay. You have us, we have you, we have the farming community. You're gonna be all right.
That is so true. And you watching this video, it is a calling for you. So anyone watching up to this moment, this video was meant for you, and you feel like this resonates with you, please do something. Do something that is going to really make you really happy.
Do it for your family. Do it for yourself.
Exactly, for yourself as well, because you know there's a lot of freedom here. There's much that you can really get out of farming, of course. And it is a coincidence I didn't put on this shirt because we're going to discuss this topic. I'm seeing my shirt here, Boss Babe. It wasn't planned at all.
The universe aligned.
The universe. That's why I'm saying it is a calling. So it's a coincidence. I didn't plan this. We just brought out this topic. We came to the farm because we needed to really put out to people out there to do things of their own. And these are especially people from the corporate world. Yesterday I was talking to my friends from my former workplace, and they were really impressed with what we are doing here. They watched the videos, they're really inspired, and they are ready, of course, to also do something, maybe part-time, because I know it is really so hard for someone to really quit at once sometimes.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to transition.
Yes, you can transition, so you can do it as part-time, then you can be able to come later on full-time. So this is really a message for anyone out there, in case you're really considering, in case you're really dying, you're really stressed up, you're really thinking like things are not really working out for you in your office there. Try something else. Consider farming as well. Do something. And we always tell you, start small, but think big. You don't have to really start with lots of money to start a farm like this one. We started from somewhere very small. We kept on growing. We kept on adding more land. So it is all about starting with what you really have for you to really be better in this field.
It's true. And the thing is, the last point, I know this video is getting long, but this is important information.
Yeah.
For many of you that are still here, right? But if you made it through the video this long, then you're a real fan, you're a real student of the farming world, you're gonna be fine. But the one thing I also want to mention to you guys here, We're in Uganda, we're on the continent. And for those of you that are in the diaspora, for those of you that are still here locally, you have an unfair advantage, a built-in advantage, right?
Yeah.
In fact, there's an interesting quote in life. The only unfair advantage is the advantage you don't have. And guess what? The beauty in that quote, there are many of you out there that actually have that true advantage. You have family land. You might not want to go to the village, but the village is there waiting for you. Your land might just be sitting there bare with nothing on it but weeds. And you have people coming in there to squat on your property. If you're one of those people and you happen to be here on the continent and you happen to be working in Uganda, Kenya, all throughout the continent here in Africa, do not let this opportunity pass you by. Go back and reclaim your land. Go back and start working your land. I don't care if you start out by just doing live crops before you get into livestock. You have to actually start. Because you have the number one thing you're gonna need. You have the land. It's just up to you now to figure out how you're gonna work it in order for it to work for you.
That is so true. I wanted to add something again, but I know it is getting long-winded, but this is something I was still discussing with my friends yesterday. You know, they were telling me, Tina, the way you used to be, like your lifestyle was totally different from what you're doing right now. You really challenged us. No one ever thought that I would become a farmer, that like the direction you took was really a shock to everyone because they knew me. You know, I liked the shows, going to restaurant reviews, doing other things. My lifestyle was totally different. Do not get embarrassed. I told them, come on, like if you really need money, work smart, because that lifestyle, some of it is just fake. That is the truth. You don't have the money, but you want to show the fake lifestyle of going to these, nice places, eating nice food. Maybe that is even sponsored, which is not even from your own pocket. So really having your own thing, your own investment is something to really work for. That's what I should really tell you guys. But really appreciate you guys so much. We love you. That's why we are doing this for you who is watching this video. And please do not forget to go and check out our social media platforms. Instagram is Value Farm UG. Facebook, Value Farm. Please go see the behind the scenes. We also share there things about the farm, what we're currently doing at the farm, and of course the updates at the farm. But we love you guys so much. Do not forget to subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Till next time, bye.